You watched me build the Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom on Gunpla Hangar. Now let's take a look at this kit in its entirety. It's time to review the Perfect Strike Freedom. It's time for After Report. What's going on, comrades, and welcome to another exciting episode of After Report, the show where I review the kits that I have built on my live stream Gundam build Gunpla Hangar. Today for After Report, we are talking about the Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom from the Gundam Breaker Batttlogue series. Now, this kit is probably one of the most intricate, odd designs for me. Like, it's a little odd for me. I mean, I get the backpack, but there's some items here that are just mismatch here, like these shoulders. I mean, detail-wise, this kit has a lot of detail to it. It's a really interesting design, a really different design than what I'm used to. I'm not used to a lot of the Seed and Destiny and all of those little side series there. So, guys, let's take this kit and let's take a look at it. So, first off, I'm gonna go ahead and take the backpack off so we can look at the suit by itself without the massive backpack, which we'll look at that in detail as well. But we have the Perfect Strike Gundam here, the Perfect Strike Freedom Gundam, which is just a different design. Like I said, we've got an interesting little Vulcan cannon on the side here that just really makes that pop. I'll bring that a little closer so y'all can get a better detailed view of that. There we go. As you can see, that's a really well detailed piece there. Build wise, this kit didn't take long. It was probably about a 2.5-3 hour build, just because there was so much to build on here. But stacking this thing up, the backpack itself, like I'm gonna fold it up just so it'll lay next to it, so you can kind of see. I mean, it's literally almost twice the size of this suit. Putting it from foot to fin there, it is just huge, guys. Massive backpack on it. Just something I'm not used to with a Gundam. Gundams usually don't come with giant backpacks unless it's like a special mobility pack, and that's kind of what this thing became. I mean, it's really huge. I haven't watched the Batttlogue series, so I'm not too familiar with that. I haven't watched Destiny either. I just got this. I got this from my good friend Dwayne over at Destination Stone. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. There's always they're one of my featured channels, so go check out my featured channels list. But first off, guys, let's talk about the details in this. Really, really well detailed kit. Bring that face forward so y'all can see that. If I can get there we go. It's starting to like it. But as you can see there, guys, really well detailed. That's actually some decal work mostly. The one thing I didn't like here was the V-fin. That V-fin was really finicky. Just it made the build a little bit more difficult because it's a two-part V-fin, or three-part V-fin, with the red, the yellow, and the white all having to be plugged in there, and they're not great for people with sausage fingers like mine. So it was really kind of a difficult build with that head. The rest of the body wasn't so difficult. The arms were a little tedious, but nothing to complain about really with the arms there. Detail-wise, like I said, we get the kind of weird asymmetrical look here with the two different types of shoulders here. You got the cannon here, and you got this claw, which I will show off in detail a little more here whenever I go through the accessories. But detail wise, we've got some pretty good detailing on this kit. It needs a little panel lining love. We've got some pretty good parts here, like these I was going to show them, but they're not wanting to that's not wanting to cooperate with me. But there is my fingernails just aren't gripping it today, but you can pull this out. Unfortunately, I can't seem to get it today, so unfortunately, it's not going to work for me. Details on the knees are really cool too. I love these knee designs. I think we're actually missing some armor there. Let me look. Correction, we're not missing any armor on the knee there. That's actually how it's supposed to look. They do give you some bonus pieces if you want to make that a little more interesting looking, or a little more detailed. You can always find like extra bonus pieces to throw in there. One of the cool things about these Batttlogue series is they're plug and play with almost any other Batttlogue kit, as well as some other Gundam kits out there. So it's definitely well worth looking into getting a couple of these and doing some modding and all that. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at this kit's joints in detail now. So first off, playability and mobility here. you look at this, the arm goes only a certain amount here. We only can get up to like right there. You can fold that arm out. Again, it's really stiff in there. So that ball joint for the shoulder there really does make it a little difficult. That's supposed to come out. That comes out super easy, by the way, and I'll show y'all why here once we get to that. But your arms do have a little bit of limited mobility just because these shoulder pads add a little different dimension here, especially like right there. You do have some pretty good rotation of the arm though, with having a ball joint in there, a ball and polycap. It is a little stiff in there, which is kind of interesting on that rotation. Let's look at this rotation here and see if we go through the same issue. No, this rotation seems to be good. It could be just a bad polycap or a ball joint that's just not trimmed right. It could have a little bit of extra runner on it that I just neglected to cut, didn't think about it. Head has a great swivel here. Again, that head is just very suspect for me just because that V-fin is so thin there. So be careful when grabbing this V-fin. It is really thin and just nervously thin, if you get my drift there. Super nervous about playing with that. As far as it goes, we have some great movement here on the sides. You can literally rotate the side skirting up there. On the back, you do have a rotating side skirt as well, so that gives you a little bit more playability with that. Definitely helps with posing. Leg comes off super easy if you need it to, because it's one of the typical like slide-in pegs versus being like one of those built-in legs. You got the legs that will slide off easily. So be careful with that. Those leg pegs, as you can see, I'm gonna see if I can move the side skirting a little bit so y'all can see that. You can kind of see it in there. It's a different. It's the older, more mobile leg base there. We do have pretty good movement with the feet here, including a folding foot, which is kind of normal with flying Gundams. They do have the folding foot ability there, so you can kind of fold the feet inward to give that look of like in flight, I guess is the best way to put it. Had to shove that leg in. So another thing too, as you can see here with the hip there, as you watch, I don't know if you can see it too well, but as I push in on one leg, the other leg kind of recorrects with it and kind of goes against it. It's because we've got the hip here, which, trying to show that off a little bit there, we'll fold those skirts in, is on a peg system, and I just lost the V-fin. Luckily that V-fin just popped off and didn't break on me, so now I got to get that back in place. But as you can see there, just a really well detailed kit as far as movement goes. We get some splits there that go on. It's not a bad design. Definitely not a bad design here. Like I said, the only thing I can complain about with the mobility of this kit is the fact that some of the joints are kind of loose on there. But nothing that we can't like tighten up with a little bit of fingernail polish just for good measure. Also, looks like I'm gonna be doing some gluing here in a little bit, because this red piece right here is the bane of any Gunpla builder's existence. Mostly because it is a tiny piece that goes into the V-fin, and if you have fingers like mine that just do not grip well on tiny things, just because they're big fingers, yeah, it's going to be a pain. So that's it as far as mobility goes. This kit's got some great mobility. Again, let's look at that. Let's look at the leg here. We can actually fold the legs completely if need be, and that's really cool. Like I said, that's the only issue I have with the legs here. As you can see, is it's a peg base leg versus having a pre-built like leg system. The peg actually just slides into a very open polycap, so it does kind of get a little like wonky and pops loose super easy. Again, a little bit of like glue or something like that can really tighten up that plug-in, but you really don't want to glue that if you don't have to, because that kind of does hinder a little bit of movement there. So let's go ahead and look at some of the accessories here. Okay, so let's look at some of the accessories we have here with this kit, and trust me, there are a ton of accessories here. We have, of course, the shoulder here, which comes off, and it gives us this nice little cable here that we can plug into it. Super simple to plug into. I say that, and it's probably going to give me a little trouble, but it plugs in there, And now we have an interesting little shoulder claw that it can use to grab enemies, attack with. It is posable, so that's really cool. So you get this little nice posable claw here that you can use to pinch and grab enemies and weapons and things like that. So really cool effect there. That comes with this piece of cable here. You can always replace it with a different piece of cable if you want something a little different there. But nothing that's super hard about this to put together. It really plugs in place pretty well too. So that way you don't have to worry about it being loose. We get 2 weapons here, which do a pretty cool effect, which have some pretty cool effects to them, which are these beams here. When combined together, and I got to remember how to combine this together because it's been a minute since I built the thing. But really, it shouldn't be difficult to put together. I just got to find the right seams here. There we go. Once put together, you can actually add another beam to it, and voila, we have a dual beam saber here. Really cool. So you get it, and one of the cool things about this is like I said, taking it apart, it becomes this becomes a blaster here, and this becomes a sword. So you have the big blue sword here, and then you got this blaster. The hand can go anywhere. Right now I'm holding it as a sword just because holding it as the blaster was a little tedious. Cool thing is now, let's get back to this. Let's get back to the big accessory here, or let's get to the big accessory here, which is the backpack. Of course, it comes with a clear shield, which plugs in. Before we get to the backpack, there, I just thought about I just saw the shield. You get this cool little shield here. You just plug this into place here, and then plug the shield in, and you know, again, if it'll work for me. Just because there's a whole lot of stuff on this kit, it makes it hard to plug things in. Well, I say that. Maybe I need to turn it. I don't know. I'm working with this. This is my first time working with this accessory here, so let me see if I need to just take the shoulder piece off. I think I need to actually like take the whole arm off. Yeah, let's just take the whole arm off. That'll work. Again, the only issue I have with this is some of the joints on this aren't the best. And that's just because reasons. I don't know. But once you get the shoulder off here, this should plug into, or once you get that arm off, yep, there we almost had it. Almost had it. Okay, I see what I was doing wrong. I see what I was doing wrong now. Rotate this back to where it needs to be. Like so. And again, we're learning together, guys, so we should be able just to line all 3 of those up. There we go. And now we can put that shoulder piece back on. And the shield is just a clear energy shield, kind of like what you get with the Victory Gundam with the with the Victory and other kits that like the Crossbone Gundam and all that have this interesting clear plasma style shield, energy shield deal going on. Super simple to put together. Super simple to, I say super simple to take apart. Let's see. But this one accessory right here does hold everything into place, and I dropped it. Here. This one accessory right here helps kind of hold everything into place. But once you're finished with it, and if you don't want to leave the shield on, which I'm not a big fan of leaving like energy shields in place. I know, weird. Sounds weird, but I'm not a big fan of it. It's super simple to put back in place and lines up perfectly there. Goes back on the arm and is really a well-detailed piece here. I do like this. I do like this a lot. That shield arm there is really cool. But now let's talk about the backpack here. And one of the cool things about this backpack is it is a massive, massive backpack. It's a double peg system that plugs into the back. So when we plug it into the back, it connects hopefully easily for me right now as I'm demonstrating. But again, nothing's ever easy when I'm demonstrating. It connects. It does make the kit super back heavy, so balancing it is going to be your key there. Finding a way to use that backpack to help stand the kit, because I mean, if you use the backpack, you can stand the kit on the backpack and it works pretty well. The backpack comes with these 2 shoulder cannons right here, these shoulder beam cannons. Something that I love, because I love a good beam rifle effect on a suit. especially one that's kind of implemented into the backpack. You get these two little holster areas here, and again, the easiest way to match this up is, remember that it's not going to be symmetrical at all. You just plug those into the back there, and boom, you've got a place to store those weapons. Now the kit did come with a couple of extra things, and I've got an extra hand that's already on the kit right now, just holding that weapon in place. And the only reason, or holding onto the weapon, and the only reason I haven't taken it off is because it's so hard to put those things on. But you have to take one of these little beams right here off. But like I said, here's the weapon harnesses here on the sides there. It's simple plug and play, not too difficult to get on and off. But again, when the kit stands up, and the wings are so massive, I can't even get them in shot right now. But here, I'll lay them down flat so you can kind of see here. The details on the wings are just amazing. The details on this kit in general, including the backpack, super awesome, just really good. A little bit of panel lining and some painting would make this really kind of pop a little more. Maybe some like decals. But we didn't get a whole lot of decals with this kit. Literally, the decals were mostly for the head and face. I don't think I put anything on the chest, legs, or anywhere else. So yeah, it's not a really heavily detailed kit. Again, probably needs a little work there. But all in all, guys, that's the kit. That's everything in a nutshell. The backpack does have some interesting movement here. And again, just a lot of free mobility there to kind of make this pop a little more, make it movable and posable and all that. Just a really, really fun kit to put together. It was a little tedious with the head, like I said. That was probably the only thing I had an issue with. But as you can see here, I've got a lot of free range mobility in that backpack there to kind of add for posability. It works well with these legs here, and it came with a part so you can pose it on a stand there. Again, standing it is probably going to be your major thing here. And I actually did a video on TikTok of this kit, and it is such a easy posing kit considering that big backpack on the back. But you gotta take your time when you pose it. Alright, so yeah, everything's falling off of it right now just because I'm trying to like stand up on it. And the good thing about the weapons is once they go in here, they don't really stay in hard. It's not hard to take them out. So really, that's kind of a benefit there, because if you're going to want to pose this thing, and like I said, as you can see here, that backpack really kind of limits a lot of storage ability there, so you have to take the backpack off if you're going to store this kit for a while. But yeah, it was a fun build, guys, and altogether just a really well detailed kit. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like I said, this backpack definitely seals the deal for me as far as like how this kit's built. There's a few more looks at the details, guys, but yeah, so that's the kit in a nutshell. That's the Perfect Strike Freedom. Alright, comrades, that's it for today's review of the Gundam Perfect Strike Freedom. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Tune in next week as we review the Batch the Black Knight. I haven't built this yet. That build will be happening, I usually film these like the day of Gunpla Hangar, so I can't wait to get this built. This is going to be a different kit for me. One of my first from the JMS series and the 5-Star Stories series of kits. This is a 1/144 scale, so I'm really excited to build this one. But yeah, that'll be happening next week, where the review will be there, but the build will be happening on Sunday. My builds always happen on Sunday nights at 8 p.m., so go check them out, guys. But anyway, that's it for today's video, comrades. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all can follow me on all of my socials. There is a link tree in the description below that takes you there, as well as to my wonderful merch shop, where you can snag some KBG merch that helps support the channel, guys. Go check that out. Also, go check out my go check out the latest design in there, which is this Gun design that you're going to see here. The Gun design was done by yours truly. It basically speaks of what my nickname has become with my community as being the Gun the guy who has kind of led them in, you know, their love of Gundam, guys. Go check that out. Also, go check out my wonderful sponsor, Dubby. Dubby makes an amazing energy drink. It won't leave you feeling jittery. It doesn't have a lot of sugar. There's no sugar in it. Just really great, 0 calorie, and on top of that, a patented neurofactor that helps me focus during my Gundam builds and during my live streams. All of that, guys. I drink a lot of that stuff, and I'll tell you right now, it's wonderful. I spend about, you can probably spend about $30-40 on a tub, and that tub will last you the full if you're like me and you drink it only when you need it. That tub lasts me a good little while, guys, but it's a 30-day supply if you need it. And if you want to, guys, don't spend all of your money. Go use my coupon code Kouldbayne for 10% off your purchase. Again, that is Kouldbayne for 10% off any purchase of Dubby. So anyway, comrades, that's it for today's video. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Much love, and das vidanya.